Hey, everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Heavy Water 77. Thank you for joining us. As I am Jerry, and with me always is Joseph Staub. How you doing, man?
Doing not great, but I'm here. So
Yeah, sound a little under the weather.
yeah, I'm slowly clawing my way out of the doldrums of sickness. So
Yeah, I went through that about a
making my
week
way through
ago.
it.
Yeah, when I got back
Yeah,
from Oklahoma, I was going through that same thing. It was just a crud I had for like 10 days. It
yeah,
wasn't bad, but it just enough to fucking make you miserable, you know. But anyway, as I was telling Joseph before the show, I'm kind of sad because we're kind of this, at least in my opinion, this is pretty much the last of the classic era of Styx. At least in my opinion, you can argue the next one, but I don't include that in there. But really, I mean, of this lineup is what I'm referring to because they had some good albums coming up, in the future. But as far as these five together, I think, in my opinion, it's the last truly great album. What do you think?
yeah. And of course, Paradise Theater. That's what we're talking about here.
This is our
I
graphic. This is
completely
our
agree.
graphics. Yeah, this is how
Yeah,
good we are with graphics. So
yeah.
yeah,
I completely agree with you. This is the kind of the final hurrah of this lineup, because for multiple reasons, with the next album not being at nearly as high of a quality as this one, and also the band not really being as present on that
right.
album as they are on this. Um, and I just think that it's kind of where the band peaked in a way, but also this was the first sign of what was to come as far as Dennis's grand ideas.
Sure.
But
Concept albums. Yep.
yeah, so it was the last hurrah, but what a hurrah it was.
Yeah, I mean, this is one album. I mean, people they didn't like Cornerstone. They talked bad about that, but you don't hear the band talking bad about this album.
No,
So I think they were pretty happy with the fact of it being another concept album. I don't think that really Tommy really liked that very much, but I think as a concept album, this album worked. I think.
yeah,
I thought it was a great story Dennis told with this one, so I'll give him props for that. But yeah, I mean, before we get into I just want to tell my story. This is the album that actually really got me into Styx. I said it a million times. I used to go to my sister's house, and this album was always there. I remember just loving everything about this album, the artwork, the gatefold in there with the little news clip, and of course, the best part of it that blew me away was the awesome laser sketch on the back. Wasn't that? I mean, there we go. That's a good view of it. That was just so bad. Damn, my album's filthy. I need to clean it. But how cool was that? I mean, seriously. I mean, that just totally drew me in as far as yeah, I mean, it's just totally fucking awesome. And I remember Q102 and WEVN in Cincinnati. I remember requesting Too Much Time on My Hands, The Best of Times, Rockin' the Paradise, all the fucking time. Remember we used to call on the radio station and you used to wait for your request, sometimes a couple hours, but they actually did play them. It took a while, but those were the days, I guess. So
also
yeah,
very rare for an album to only have a sticker on one side, and it
right,
has all
yeah.
the songs on that one side, and it doesn't have it on the other side.
So this album is actually very, very, very important to me. I mean, I think The Grand Illusion is my favorite, but this one definitely means probably more to me than any other album because this is the one that got me into the band. What was your history with it, man? And then you can go ahead and
Yeah,
talk about the album.
this is another one that was very important to me as well. I talked about Pieces of Eight was the first one that I really knew. We had the cassette, so I knew that one
Mhm.
very well. And then when we had our record player fixed, the two that my dad had on vinyl was The Grand Illusion and this. So I knew this album very well growing up. This was one of those three albums that really brought me into Styx completely as a fan. So this is one that I knew from front to back at a younger age. This is one I was much more familiar with. And I loved it as a kid. I still do. I think this is a huge, huge step back up from Cornerstone.
Yeah,
I there's one or two songs that aren't as great as the rest of this, but to me, I don't think there's an awful song on this album.
yeah,
Um, I definitely think this is a huge step up from Cornerstone. I think this is going back in a lot of ways, kind of sonically, to what they were doing on Pieces of Eight and Grand Illusion. I think that you hear Tommy and JY especially say, okay, Dennis, you had your pop album. We're going to put out a rock album again.
Yeah.
And this is what they did. And yeah, I think it's a fantastic album. A little bit of background on it. It was the 10th Styx album. It was released January 16th of 1981, recorded in 1980, again at Pumpkin Studios in Oak Lawn, Illinois, where they recorded Cornerstone. This was a #1 album. Huzzah. They finally did it. They got that #1 album. It was a #1 album for 3 weeks, and it ended the year as #6. So it was the sixth highest ranked album of 1981 on the Billboard charts. There were 4 singles released from the album, and this is kind of interesting because one of these I didn't even realize was a single. I would have never expected it to be a
All
single.
right.
And the rest of them, the B-sides are really weird. So the first single was Best of Times with Lights as the B-side.
Yeah.
That went to #3. It was a top 10 hit. Next single was Too Much Time on My Hands with Queen of Spades as the B-side.
Yeah.
That went to #9. So the first 2 singles, 2 top 10 hits. Then you get to the third single, which was Nothing Ever Goes as Planned, which if you would have held a gun to my head, I would have never been able to tell you that that was a single. And on the B-side of that was Never Say Never.
Oh.
What a weird pick for both sides of that
Right.
single. That one went to #54. And then the final single, this one makes more sense because thematically together, Rockin' the Paradise on one side, Snowblind on the other. And that went to #8 on the rock charts, did not chart on the pop charts. So a bit of a weird single release there. And looking back, because I got interested in, well, why were they picking songs from 1 or 2 albums ago to put on the B side of these singles? And it wasn't like they were live versions or anything. It was just the
Yeah.
song.
Maybe trying to get more people back into those
I
songs because
guess
they're fucking great songs. I
because
mean,
they did the
except for
same
Never
thing
Say Never,
with
but
they did the same thing with the previous album too. I think the
yeah.
first single from the previous album, whichever, I guess it was Babe. I guess maybe
Was Why Me. I thought I used to have that single was Why Me was the B
it,
side of
it
it.
might have been something different then. Whatever the first single was, I think it was Babe. It said "I'm
Mm.
Okay" was the B side.
I don't remember that, but
So I
possibly
don't
I can
know.
hear it. Yeah, I can see that.
But so like they had a kind of a history of putting older songs
Right.
on their B sides. So kind of interesting. You don't see a lot of bands doing that. Usually it's another song from the same album or a new song. But I
Maybe
know
that was their way of saying you got to hear every song, buy the
I
album if you want to hear
guess
every song. Maybe.
I guess so. But yeah. So those were the 4 singles released from this album. Very successful album, like I said. Triple platinum. It was their 4th multi-platinum album in a row. It was the final multi-platinum album they
Yeah.
would have, which is surprising because everybody and their mother thinks that the next one went multi-platinum because of
Yeah.
the single. It did not.
No, did not.
And so this was their last huge album. And for me, what an album for them to go out on as far as
Sure.
this kind of run of popularity, because this, like I said, is a great album. And yeah, we can kind of get into it. Do you have anything else you wanted to add there on
Just
the
a
background?
couple reviews. All Music gave it 4 out of 5. Daily Vault gave it an A in 2003 and a C in 2006. I don't know what's up with that. I don't understand that. And then
Maybe 2 different reviewers. I don't
yeah,
know.
our friends from Rolling Stone actually gave it 2.5.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll take it, Um, yeah, I mean, you pretty much cover everything. Did you want to mention something about the tour, or do you want to do that afterwards?
We could do that afterwards.
Okay, no problem. All right, with that being said, let's get into the tracks. We're going to start out with a little combo here. Songs 1 and 2, AD 1928 and Rockin' the Paradise. AD 1928 was written by Dennis, and Rockin' the Paradise is written by all 3 of the main songwriters, Dennis, JY, and Tommy. What do you got on that one, man?
I mean, what a cool way to open up the album. You hear it from the beginning with the uh, kind of carnival-esque opening with 1928 that they would revisit later on in the album twice.
Mhm.
Um, it's just kind of cool little opening, and then it busts right into "Rock of the Paradise," which is one of my favorite Styx songs. Heavy hitter, hard and fast, still on the set today for a good reason. They've almost never taken this out of the set. Um, just an absolutely killer way to open the album. Um, yeah, just a great opening track. Really cool harmonies, really great guitar playing on this one. Um, Rhythm section, as always, holding it down. Just a great way to open this album.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is a perfect opening combo of a song, in my opinion. I love, like you said, the introduction. I love, well, when we get to we're talking about the concert, and, it's just Dennis coming out and introducing everything. And then when the main riff comes in, here at the paradise, this starts fucking rocking. Love that part, dude. And what a great riff that is. Just the riff is cool. Everything about this song is cool. I mean, I love the harmony, the chorus. I think it's cool. Great solo by Tommy in this one. Yeah, I mean, if you're a Styx fan, you know this song, so we don't need to really go into details of how great of a song it is. But you mentioned it has been on their set list for a while now, and you're right for great reason because it is a great, great song, dude. With that being said, let's move into the next song written by Tommy. You may have heard of this song a time or two. Jimmy Fallon and Paul Rudd have definitely heard about this song. Too much time on my hands.
Yes, they have quite a funny video when
Yeah,
they did the remake of the music video. Um, yeah, I mean, this is another great song. Everybody that's a Styx fan, even people that probably aren't Styx fans, know this song. Um, Huge hit, top 10 hit. Tommy's last hit. This is the
yeah,
last hit song that he had in Styx to this day. Um, he didn't have any hits off the next album. He wasn't on the album after that, and they haven't had any hits since then.
no.
So this was the last hit to be sung by Tommy Shaw. Um, and it's a great song. It's catchy. Tommy's vocals are great. Another great riff with the it's a kind of a mix of the guitar and the keyboards doing the riff. Um, and they just have it's a really great, catchy song, in my opinion. Tommy was great at writing those kind of catchy, um, melodic songs in a way, and this is another example of it.
Yeah, I heard actually this song, Tommy envisioned it in his head as he was going to the studio, and he had this thing in his mind that dun 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 dun. He was worried he might forget it by the time he went to the studio, but he got there, he remembered it. He told Chuck to play this and Dennis to play this, and it ended up being. I think it came together really quickly as far as the whole writing of the song. And man, it is a great tune. This song, since it's come out, it's never left the set list as far as I'm concerned. Even when Tommy wasn't in the band, I think Glenn did this song a couple of times, or that tour anyway. It's just one of those songs that are catchy. It never gets old. And you're right. Unfortunately, it was Tommy's last hit with them. Sorry, I have a little bit of a slur today because I bit my tongue and it really fucking hurts. It's like a big gash there, and I'm having trouble talking sometimes. So forgive me about that. But yeah, I mean, it's a classic song. I used to request this song all the fucking time, dude. I'm telling you, I used to drive the DJs crazy at Q102 probably. But I mean, it's a great song, and again, it's one of the songs we don't need to really talk about to discuss how good it is because it really is. Then we go to, well, I guess it's not a deep track because it was released as a single. Nothing Ever Goes as Planned, written by Dennis.
Yeah. So this is one of those songs where, like I said, if you held a gun to my head, I would have never been able to tell you that this was a single. Wouldn't have never guessed it in a million years. Um, and I don't really understand why it was a single, if I'm being honest. It doesn't really scream single. Um, I don't hate this song. I don't think it's a bad song at all. It's not a Styx song. It does not sound like a Styx song. It sounds like a decent Chicago song.
Right.
Um, does not sound like a Styx song. I don't think it fits the flow of this album. Um, I think this is really the one big bump in the road on this album, in my opinion. But again, I don't think it's a bad song at all. It just really doesn't fit for me. Um, the band still sounds great though. There's still some cool moments, but just overall as a song, I don't think the song fits very well on the album. Surprisingly, as a single, they almost never played it live. When we get to the tour, there was pretty much they played most of this album live, with the exception of three songs, and this was one that they only played like 5 or 6 times. Even though it was released as a single, they just didn't play it. So even the band, it sounds like, didn't really have much faith in this song.
Yeah.
So doesn't surprise me.
I wouldn't be surprised, and this is just my speculation. It's not fact by any means, but this might have been JY and Tommy's way of saying, okay, Dennis, you can have this one. You know what I mean? Because the last album, the problem with the first time and all that, they're probably, because you're right. I cannot see this song as a single. I mean, and you had said it's not a bad song. It's very Broadway-ish. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it. It's a concept album about a theater, but I don't know. You're right. There's something about this song doesn't flow. It's very very Broadway, in my opinion. Is you know, I don't know what else to say about it. Like it's not a terrible song, but it's not a great song. I don't skip it. As a matter of fact, I don't skip anything off this album when I listen to it. But my mind can wander during this song if it's on. You know, I don't pay attention to it as much. But okay, enough of that one. Then we move to another classic. Now this is Dennis DeYoung, man. This is, in my opinion, his sweet spot. The best of times, man.
Yeah, this was the big hit off the album, went to number 3, top 5 hit for him. I love this song. I really do. I think this is just like you said, this is Dennis's sweet spot. This is what Dennis does, where it's not. I think he does some great heavy songs. We've seen him do
Yeah,
some great heavy songs, but it's not the really super sweet, crappy saccharine ballads that he can do
true.
sometimes too. This is right in the middle, and I like that. It's a ballad, but it's not. It has some balls to it.
Yeah,
It has some oomph behind it, and I think that really helps it out. Here they revisit the opening part of AD 1928 at the opening of this song, and then it fleshes out into the song itself. Um, yeah, I think it's just an amazing song. I love the way they do this live. They extend it, they add stuff to it. And I always
yeah.
love that because I love the "These are the
All right,
best of times," and they only do it once in the studio
right.
version, but they do it a couple
Yeah,
times live, and they add some solos. They add a couple different things when they do it live, and I always love that. And I think they do a great job of doing it live. I was so happy when they brought it back last year. That was really great for me to see because I'd never gotten to see that song live before. For some reason, they stopped playing it for a very long time, and they finally brought it back last year. They're still playing it now.
yeah. Still playing.
Um, and I really was happy to see that because I think this is a fantastic song. Great way to close out side one. Just a fantastic track.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great song, man. And you mentioned they revisited AD 1928 kind of in the beginning. And I love after the solo, it goes right back into that same thing, you know? Yeah, I mean, it's just a well-written song. It's performed well, it's sung well. There's nothing bad about this song. It just reeks of a perfect song, in my opinion. It's not sappy. It's not, you know, like gumdroppy or whatever you want to call it. It's a very cool song about, you know, reminiscing or saying goodbye or whatever you determine what this song means to you. Very heartfelt. That's the word I'm looking for. And the lyrics are cool. Dennis's vocals are cool. Tommy's little guitar solo. It's just a fucking badass song, dude. I love this song and I never get tired of it. And you're right. I'm so glad they brought it back. Unfortunately, I was supposed to go see them a week ago, but something happened where I couldn't because it's still in their new set list they're doing now. But, you know, like I said, they're going to be touring forever. So I know I have at least 12 or 13 more chances to see them before they're done, I think. But okay, we're going to flip this bitch over and we're going to start it with a interesting Dennis song, Lonely People. What do you got on this one?
I really dig this song. I think this is a really cool deep cut. I think there's some really cool parts of this song. This is not a song that really stands out on the album. I mean, it's not one that, like, if you gave me the choice of going and grabbing a song off this album, it's not one that I'd really ever go to. But when I'm listening to the album as a whole, I always think, hey, this is a pretty cool song. I dig it. Nothing really to write home about, but it's I think it's a better song than Nothing Ever Goes as Planned, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It kind of starts out with some dude yelling at people outside for making too much noise, this and that. Dennis yelling, blah 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 blah. But the song itself, I think, is pretty cool. I mean, I like the bam, bam, I like the riffage to it. I like the big chorus to it. It definitely is better than Nothing Ever Goes as Planned. I think it's a cool, solid, deep track. What else do I like to say about it? We got some horns in this one, right? Yeah, we got some horns
Mm-hmm.
in this one, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
It's a good tune. I mean, if I had to rate it out of five, I'd give it a 3.5 out of five. You know, it's like I said, it's nothing that I will go back to, but in the flow of the album, I will listen to it. Um, so it's a long song too, 5 minutes. Well, it's mostly long because of the beginning. I think it's like a minute of it's like that intro, and Dennis blah 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 and away. But then we move into the next song, and this is interesting because I never used to like this song until recently. Tommy Shaw, and She Cares. What do you got on this one?
This is another great deep cut, in my opinion. I think of the three really deep cuts off this album, the ones that they don't play live, the ones that they never really played live, this is my favorite of the three.
Mm.
I think this is a great Tommy song. It pairs well with his other main song on the album. I think it's a really cool, just kind of laid back Tommy song. Stuff kind of right in his kind of wheelhouse. Just another one of the songs that he does very well, and unfortunately, we're not going to see a lot of those for a little bit.
No. Yeah, up until I listened to this album about 2 years ago, I never liked this song, but hearing it now, I really like this song actually. I love that great saxophone solo in this song, man. And it's a cool mid-tempo Tommy Shaw rocker, like you said. Probably the best deep cut on the album. I used to thought Lonely People was, but I think this one here is actually better. So everything you said about it, I agree with. It's a good tune, and this one I'll probably pay more attention to when I hear it on the when I play it on the CD or
Yeah.
turntable now.
This one kind of
Um,
almost it kind of gives me a little bit of a throwback to Mademoiselle almost.
sure,
Um,
Crystal Ball type of
yeah,
song. Yep, fair enough. That actually sound really. I mean, if you think about it, it really is an oddball song for this album, but it's more. I'll take it over Nothing Ever Goes as Planned any day as far as being
yeah.
oddball. But all right. Then we move on to whoo, man. We got a song written by JY and Dennis. Snowblind. What do you got on this one?
A song supposedly featuring backwards satanic
Ah,
messages.
yeah,
Uh, the '80s, what a time.
it was.
Um, yeah, this is my favorite song on the album. I mean, just absolutely iconic Styx song. Unfortunately, a song that I'll probably never get a chance to see played
No.
live because it's a JY song, so it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, just what an absolute force of nature this song is. So creepy, so atmospheric, and then it rocks out in the middle. That amazing guitar solo in the middle, and then goes back into that slow, creepy, atmospheric ending, and then that just really cool synthesizer note at the end that takes
Yeah.
it out. What a song. This is the kind of stuff that I missed on the last album.
Right.
This is the kind of stuff that I think Tommy and JY were looking at Dennis and saying, no, fuck you. We're doing this.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is when you like I said, when you mix these guys together singing, like especially Tommy and JY in a song, it's going to be a masterpiece. Case in point, our title of our show. Not, I mean, that song's not as good as this one, but it's still a good tune. But man, you're right. Everything you said about this song is freaking amazing, dude. The creepiness of that dun, 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 that keyboard, JY's vocal delivery, and then you got Tommy coming in with the harness and innocent. Just fuck, dude, what a great tune this is, man. I mean, do they know at the time what a masterpiece they've written when they write songs? You know what I mean? But this song, man, it doesn't get much love as far as radio or anything like that, and it should. It got some radio play if I remember in the past, but man, bring this song back, JY. I know you can do it, dude. Put away Miss America for a while. You can actually save your voice a little bit here by doing this one. That's going to be your own song. You don't have to sing all the way through it. Please. I know you're not listening, but just by chance, if you're scrolling by and you actually see us on our knees pleading for you to do this song, please do it. Because it is a great. I got to see him do it a couple times, man, and it sounded fucking great, dude. Absolute masterpiece. Oh man, that synthesizer and then at the end, dude. Classic. Bring it back, please. All right, then we move on to. I'm gonna put all these songs together: Half Penny, Two Penny, AD 1958, and State Street Sadie, written by James Young and our old buddy Ray Brandel. I mean, Ray Brandel wrote a couple songs in the Wood and Nickel area for JY, and welcome back to the fold. And whoo, man, you wrote a fucking great tune, man. What do you think?
One that I'll definitely never get to see played
No,
live because there ain't no way JY is singing this song ever again.
no.
Because my God, what a vocal performance on this song. He is screaming his ass off on parts of this track. Such an amazing song. Just instantly memorable. That riff, so good. JY's vocal performance, the chorus,
Oh, yeah.
just all those harmonies, so good. And then it breaks down into the slower part. Great guitar solo into this really cool saxophone solo to wrap it up, leading right into AD 1958 to wrap the story up, put a kind of bow on it, take us back to where we started. That same theme that was in AD 1928 and the best of times, wrapping it up there with AD 1958. And then this kind of weird little like piano, like player piano thing at the end with State Street Sadie, which is what they always used on the tour to open up the show. They played it over the loudspeaker to open up the show, but kind of cool, weird thing they just put on the end of the album. Not
Yeah.
much of a thing, but yeah. Half Penny, Two Penny. One of my favorite Styx songs. Easily my second or third favorite song off this album. Just
Yeah.
phenomenal.
I mean, it's got that Miss America type electric guitar riff to it, which is, I mean, it's a little bit, I think it's actually cooler than Miss America, in my opinion, that
Yeah.
riff. And we got to find out what Krugerrand is. A lot of people didn't know what a Krugerrand was. And when they say they found out what a Krugerrand is, they usually, some people at least, go back to this song for that word, or I'm trying to think of the word. I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
enough of that. It's a great song, man. I mean, you mentioned everything cool about it. I love how it segues at the end. By the way, it's a monster fucking guitar solo in this one too. And I love how it just, like you, as I was saying, segues to the end and slowly goes into like instruments like dropping out one by one till it's nothing left but a piano. I love that, dude. This may be my favorite ending to a Styx album, in my opinion. And that's including the State Street Sadie. I understand that. That's supposed to be like a dream or a past memory or something. Because I was reading something into that. It's like an old movie or something that used to be on Broadway or something. So I think that's what that is. But it's kind of weird how they bring it back in the beginning of the tour. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I can deal with it without State Street Sadie, but man, what a way to end an album, dude. What a way to end this classic era of kind of like the curtain closed on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least that's what I think. But man, uh, what a way to go. What a great tune, man. Absolutely. So that is our review of Styx Paradise Theater. And I think we both agree that we really like this album. A couple minor bumps on the road, but nothing really major. And now we're going to talk about the tour. What are you going to talk about? What
Yeah.
do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So this is really the first time we've talked about Styx's live shows on this channel. And just, I mean, before this, they were still a great live band, but there wasn't really anything like truly like different about what they were doing live
Mm,
compared to some other bands. This is when they first really, this was really the first Styx tour. This is what they would kind of become live. They had the big theatrical
right.
stuff to it, the kind of the stage show. They'd start with the curtain closed, the piano on stage, the guy mopping, coming out, leaning up against the piano. State Street Sadie would play, and then Dennis comes out and does 80, 1928. Curtain opens up, they do Rock in the Paradise. That would kind of influence a lot of their tours going forward,
Yeah.
whether from the theatrical aspect of it or from the set list aspect of it, because pretty much from 1981 until now, this has been most of their set list
Yeah.
was what they played on that tour, with the exception of whenever they put out a new album now and one song from the next album that we're going to review, every other song they play is from Paradise Theater and before.
Yeah.
So this is really where their set list kind of solidified, because if you look at the set list from this tour, you had a ton of stuff off this album. You had pretty much everything on this album aside from Lonely People, She Cares, and Nothing Ever Goes as Planned, which they did play that one a couple times, but they never played Lonely People or She Cares. So they opened the show with 1928, Rockin' the Paradise. They did Too Much Time on My Hands. They did Best of Times. They did Snowblind. They did um, Half Penny, Two
Yeah.
Penny, 80, 1928, Straight Street Sadie. That was what they did off this album. Um, then going back, they played the two songs that they always play off Pieces of Eight, Renegade, Blue Collar Man. They were still playing Great White Hope, so they had a third song off of that, which they don't play anymore. The four songs that they always play off Grand Illusion, the title track, Fooling Yourself, Come Sail Away, Miss America, Sweet Madam Blue, Crystal Ball, Lady.
Yeah.
That was the set list. And that, will, by and large, with a couple of things changed, is still their set list to this day.
Yeah.
They'll add some stuff, they'll take some stuff out, but at the core of it, you're always going to get those four songs off the Grand Illusion.
Yeah.
You're always going to get those two songs off Pieces of Eight. You're always going to get two or three songs off of this album. And you're always going to get Crystal Ball, Lady, and a song off Equinox. They have been changing it lately, which song it is, but you pretty much always get a song off Equinox.
Yeah. It's usually lights or not lights, but
Light Up or
light up. That's what I'm talking about. Or
yeah,
very
Lorelei.
rare. It's Sweet Madam Blue. I mean, I wish they would
Yeah.
bring that one back, but they haven't done that one
Oh,
in
and
quite
I
a while.
forgot what songs they played off Cornerstone on this tour. They did Babe, which they certainly don't do anymore.
No.
There were when they fired Dennis, there was two songs that fans thought they would never ever see at a Styx show again. They started playing one of them. They haven't played the other yet,
Yeah,
so I don't see them ever doing that one
right.
without Dennis. But they also did Boat on the River sometimes on this tour.
That's
They
that one.
did Borrowed Time quite a bit, and they did Lights, and
Yeah.
which both of those songs you really don't see in the set list anymore either. But yeah, this is pretty much when Styx became the live band that they would continue to be, to the point where when they did their reunion tour in '96, they modeled it off of this tour, Return to
Yep.
Paradise, same format, opening with the curtain close and the piano and all that stuff. Um, and they modeled a lot of their set after that on the same thing. So this was really a formative tour for them. This was really when they went from just being a rock band on stage to what they were.
Uh, Absolutely, I agree with you. And unfortunately, I think they probably took it a little too far on the next tour, but
Oh yes, we will get
we'll
to that.
we'll get to that one. But yeah, I remember seeing that Return to Paradise tour live, man. Just to be able to see, the only bad part about that thing is John wasn't there. But other than that,
Yeah,
man, just to see Tommy back with Styx, because I saw the Edge of the not Edge, yeah, Edge of the Century tour. I
yeah,
saw that one, and I thought that was really good. I mean, people didn't like Lynn Burton doing Tommy Shaw stuff, but there were a few fingers in the air. But I thought he did a good job. I mean, he ended up being in the band later, and I thought, he did a really good job filling in for Chuck on the bass.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with 100% you said there. This is definitely the beginning of a new direction because they were just, basically come on the stage, plug in, and leave with no, theatrics. But this one here definitely
Yeah.
started them in the theatric, motion. But and it
And
worked for this.
I wish there was like a high quality full concert from this tour,
Right.
because there are, if you go on YouTube, there's a concert from the Capitol Center in Largo, Maryland,
Mm.
and there's a show from Tokyo as well, which are professionally shot, but just in really bad quality.
Right.
And it's not like they ever had the big home video release like we will talk about in a couple weeks for the next tour, or Return to Paradise, or any of those that they've done since.
Mm.
I wish, because if you look on YouTube and you watch that Capitol Center show, it's so good.
Yeah.
It is
I
so
can
good to
imagine.
see them, those original five, playing that set list, because they
Yeah.
played like 20 songs.
Right.
Just a great set list. Unfortunately, that would not carry over to the next tour,
No.
but we will talk about that in a few weeks.
Yeah. So if you're a fan of that album, we apologize for what we're about to say for the next album. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. Again, this is, like I said, kind of a melancholy episode because it's the end of my favorite, excuse me, era of Styx, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with that. But Joe, thank you again for being my co-host on this. You fucking make this. We both make it good. How about that? Exactly. Even though he is a star. But anyway, y'all take care. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like, subscribe. Thank you for all that have watched our shorts, our videos, everything. We appreciate you. Comments, keep leaving them. Keep leaving. We want to grow this thing. We want to be a super Sticks. We want to make Stickstery on YouTube here, okay? But anyway, guys, y'all take care. Be good to each other. Turn off the news and turn on the music, man. Take care.